Being able to control your trail arm in the golf swing is key for having consistency, but also generating that beautiful power that we want. Now today I'm going to run you through how to set your arm up at address, how to fold it in the backswing, how to unload it on the way down, and how to release it to get us that amazing golf swing. And more importantly, we're going to use a great role model. It's not going to be myself, it's going to be Max Homer. He's got a far better swing than me, but let me give it a rip with these good trail arm mechanics. So with that being said, let's dive into the video starting with the setup position. And let's bring in Max. Now let's focus on his trail arm. How does he have it positioned? And I want you to focus on where his bicep is pointing and where the front of his elbow, so we'll call this bit his elbow pit, is pointing. And what you'll notice is it's not turned in, it's actually pointing more towards the camera from this face-on view. Now this is a really important position. And here's why. So the way we position this arm at address is going to dictate, number one, how we load this trail arm or how we fold it, and number two, how we release the club. So if I was to imitate Max's position where I have my bicep pointing in front of me and the front of my elbow pointing in front of me here, you can see here now, if I was just to fold my arm, how it stays in front of my body. And also if I was to just relax my arm, you see how it twists inwards. Let's explain why those two movements are really important. Folding the arm without dragging the elbow across me is going to keep my hands in front of my body. And number two, when I relaxed it, twisted inwards, well, that's going to help you learn how to release the club fully on the way down, squaring that face up, delivering effortless shaft lean. Now, straight away from here, I now feel a lot more engaged in my shoulder. I feel like from here, I'm going to be able to work that trail arm correctly, but I want you to turn your palm away from you. So you can see in this position, the bicep, the front of my elbow is pointing towards you right there. If I now bring my arm across and keep that arm in the same position, but just let the forearm twist back round, you can see how this presets my arm in a nice position. So if I was to do this in a pre-shot routine, I would step in, put the club down, get everything lined up, take my grip, let the trail arm just hang just like so, and then bring it back on with that arm in the correct position. Then I would take grip. And from the front on view, let's just see how that trail arm folds. And one of the key things I want you to notice is that Max keeps his elbow visible from the face on view. It's not being pulled behind his body. So this is a great sort of checkpoint, because if you're keeping that elbow visible, it means you have beautiful width. And from the down the line view, we can see again that arm starts to fold. It stays sort of in front of that right shoulder. It sets up, he gets that forearm slightly leaning inwards at the top, and ultimately it just looks super natural. It gets the club working up on plane in a beautiful position. It's still in front of him, and then from there he's primed and ready to get that club working correctly on the way down. So let me demonstrate everything we just spoke about. So the setup is crucial for this, because if you get your setup wrong, your arm's going to want to fold behind you, which is why you see golfers get narrow and their trail elbow gets stuck behind them. But because Max has his elbow in a good position here, as he swings back, you can see that elbow is still visible from this front on view. This means he has beautiful width. Now, a great rule is that tour pros bend their arm less, but bend their wrist more than amateurs. I'll say that again. Tour pros bend their trail arm less than amateurs, but they bend their trail wrist more than amateurs. Amateurs keep that wrist very flat, but then fold their trail arm behind them a lot. So hopefully that makes sense. And it makes sense because we're keeping this arm in front of us and we're able to keep it nice and wide in this position, so about a 90-degree angle. And if I then add the club into that position, you can see how there's loads of angle in that trail wrist. Now, you need a drill to be able to feel this, and I have a Pete Cowan drill for you. In fact, quite a lot of the drills I give you today are going to be Pete Cowan inspired. So if I set up to the golf ball and I do my conventional grip and then I flip it over and do what I call a left below right, so a cat-handed grip. Now, what I want you to do is do a swing where you feel your hands stay nice and wide away from you in the backswing, and just notice the position that trail arm gets in. If I take my left arm off, you can see elbows very visible from this face on view, arms nice and wide, trail wrist has the set, and the club is in a great position. So do that a couple times, really try and feel the position that that arm is working into, and then at the top, switch your hands over and there's your really good top of backswing position. And this is just what Max Homa does. He gets the setup right with that trail arm, folds it into a beautiful position, and like I said, this is going to set him up beautifully for the downswing. So let me give you my best interpretation of that setup position there, and then my best interpretation of the backswing. Great, now let's give it a whack. Now we can work on the transition and the downswing. And again, let's bring Max into this position. So what do you see Max do right here? A major thing he does is in the downswing, he number one, lowers his trail arm and starts the process of widening it. A lot of golfers try and leave their arm up and it gets stuck behind them, or when they pull in and narrow. And we can see this in Max right here. He's able to get his arm back in front of his right hip by pulling the arms down, but widening that hand out as he's doing it. So let me demonstrate that just to clear it up. A lot of golfers, when they pull, they'll either pull in very narrow, so you see I'm really keeping fold in that arm. Well, in which case, how am I supposed to get the club to the ball? That's with a lot of side bend, that'll ruin your back. And then from there, the second option is then golfers leave their arm up for as long as possible. Again, from here, that creates the arm getting stuck behind you like this. You'll need a lot of side bend, or you're gonna have to cast the club out. I would not recommend that for the majority of golfers. What I would recommend is going to the top. Yes, we are going to lower, or we are going to pull the arm down, but we're gonna go from a folded position and gradually widen that club out on the way down, or widen the hand out on the way down. Widening is essentially doing that. We're doing that motion as we pull that hand down. If you combine those two things together, you're going to get into a great position. Now, you could use the cat-handed drill and you could do the same principle. So here to the top, bring that arm down, and you can see as I do that, my trail arm gets wider as I pull those hands down. Or you could do something like a split hands drill, just like so, where you go to the top and you pump that arm down in front of you. You can see, look, I'm widening the arm as I pull it down. Let me try and show you my best example of this. Again, Max is a far better example than myself. And finally, let's come into the release. What do we see Max do? And let's bring him back up right here. We see that as he gets into this position, his arm's starting to widen, and then it extends across to the target. You'll see two main things. Number one, the right arm will really widen, so it'll feel like he's stretching towards the target. And number two, you'll see the arm rotate. So watch that forearm as I play the release through. You'll see it widen and rotate. Now, there is such a simple swing thought to help you achieve this. And in order to do this, what I want you to do is just set up inside of the ball. Get your arm in the correct position, swing to the top, come down to this good delivery position. You'll have a little bit of fold in the arm, but you can see the hand is back in front of the right leg. It's not all the way up here, it's back in front of the right leg. From this position, I want you to imagine you are trying to turn and shake hands with the target. You're not going to shake hands with your hand under. You're not going to shake hands with your hand over. You're going to shake hands right here. So good delivery position, and then from there, shake hands with the target. You can see the club's pointing pretty much straight up, arms extended across the body. So it's here at the top. Let the arms come down, so pull them down, and then shake hands with the target. To the top, pull them down, shake hands with the target. The simplest and easiest swing thoughts. So really, then, you can sort of simplify this all down by going, okay, look, I get the trail arm in a good position in the dress, elbow points in front of me. I fold it on the way back, I unfold it on the way down, and I shake hands towards the target. Good position in the dress, fold it, unfold it, shake hands with the target. Good position, fold it, unfold it, shake hands with the target. And it's literally as simple as that. Because if you can do that, the unfolding is going to give you hand speed, which is going to give you lag, give you shaft lean, give you just overall just a hell of a lot of speed. The releasing it to where you can shake hands with the target gives you that actual energy transferring into the club head, plus allows you to square the face up and deliver shaft lean, more club head speed, more efficiency, and just ultimately moving your arm in front of your body then allows your body to move correctly. So by setting it up correctly, elbow pit point in front of you, then from there, fold it, unfold it, shake hands with the target. That's going to give you a super powerful golf swing. And I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give the video a like and the channel a subscribe. But also I offer online coaching on the Skillest platform. The link is down below in the description. I can give you one-to-one help no matter where you are in the world.